Time for your pinpoint weather and traffic together. Only Tiger Woods and Patrick Little would try to get in a round of golf today.
Yeah, you know, maybe sneaking in a morning round, but by afternoon conditions are going to start to deteriorate. You know, and even though this storm has weakened overnight, we're still talking about a very large hurricane, and it will likely still be a hurricane as it passes by us later on during the evening and nighttime hours tonight. This is the satellite imagery. I do want to go down to our current view here on live Pinpoint Doppler 12 radar, where we are starting off the morning dry. So if you have to head out to work this morning, you're not going to face really any weather troubles for the next several hours. We are under a tropical storm warning for all of coastal Rhode Island and inland Bristol and Plymouth counties in Massachusetts. It's a hurricane warning still for coastal Massachusetts from roughly the south shore of Boston out towards the Cape and the islands, and that of course includes our local waters. Mariners should be in port at this point as the waves are starting and continuing to build. The flash flooding definitely possible as you head out towards Massachusetts, where some of the heavier rains will fall in a short amount of time. Could see isolated amounts of 6 inches out there. So that's why that flash flood watch has been issued for their area. But even in Rhode Island, we're looking at the potential for some localized street and poor drainage flooding, maybe even some smaller stream flooding as the rain picks up later this evening. Satellite and radar, you can see here the storm spinning up, the rain spreading up the mid-Atlantic coastline right now. But what we have lost is a distinct eye from this storm, and that's a sign of its continuing to weaken. It's still a Category 2 storm, still 100-mile-an-hour winds and gusts now of about 130. It's moving to the north-northeast at 16. Now that is key. It has made that shift to the north and east, and it should continue to on that northeasterly path during the course of the day today. It's also going to pick up speed. It's about 450 miles right now from Newport. The hurricane track from the National Hurricane Center brings this storm system about 50 to 100 miles now off of Nantucket, and that's a little bit of a shift further away from us. It's good news, but I wanted to stop it here. This is 2 a.m. tonight. We are still within this circle that gives us an indication of tropical storm force winds, and notice eastern Massachusetts still with some hurricane force winds. The dark that you see, the strong hurricane force winds, and those are possible in Nantucket. The other thing I want to point out, there's still a small chance that this system could jog back to the west. So we're not going to write anything in stone just yet, but based on the current track, we're looking at probably 40 to 50 mile-an-hour winds over much of Rhode Island, the Boston area, maybe some wind gusts to 60 out on Block Island, but the strongest winds will still be found over eastern Massachusetts, and some hurricane force wind gusts possible, especially as you head out towards Nantucket and the outer Cape. Let's go ahead and take a look at winds right now. They're very light over our area, only less than 10 miles per hour most of our spots. Temperatures are running right around 70 degrees. We've got a high today, 70s and 80s. That'll happen before the rain really picks up in intensity. So I do expect the morning to be dry and mild. This evening, rainy and windy, though, by the time you're heading home from work, with a temperature of about 74 to 79. Taking a look at the storm timing, I expect the rain to arrive between 11 and 3 o'clock this afternoon. The height of it, though, isn't until this evening, probably mid to late part of the evening commute, when the winds and the rain will really reach their highest peak. 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, sun is back. So I've been mentioning this all week. This is going to be a fast-moving storm. We're only looking at 6 to 8 hours of really intense impact from the storm. We're still going to see those strong, rough rip currents and high seas. 2 to 5 inches of rain. Now, the highest amounts are going to be found the further east that you are, towards the Cape and the islands. We're looking at wind gusts again about 30 to 50 miles per hour in Rhode Island, with some higher gusts as you head out towards Massachusetts. As far as storm impacts go, let me get back to that. I do want to show you that because we're looking at some power outages possible from this storm system. Most of that should be in southeastern Massachusetts, but can't rule out power outages in Rhode Island too. One of the things that's not going to be a big issue with this storm is the storm surge. Because of the path of the storms taking a track offshore, we're going to see a wind out of the north and northeast. That's actually going to push water away from the coastline, push it out of Narragansett Bay. So storm surge in Rhode Island, 1 to 2 feet, 2 to 4 feet in Massachusetts. Massachusetts, and some localized flooding, definitely a possibility with that higher rain amounts. So 7-day Futurecast, we're still looking at overall a nice holiday weekend once we get through Earl today, and we'll be keeping a very close eye on whether the storm is going to throw any last-minute punches our way. Right now we're looking at tropical storm force conditions for much of our area later this evening and tonight, but by Saturday it's windy still, but the sun will be coming back out, and it's dry, comfortable Sunday and a beautiful Labor Day on Monday.